Hello, this is Will Harold, the Energy Hunter with Akashic Intelligence, the original AI, coming to you from New Rivendell on the Rogue River in Oregon. This is New Rivendell. I was over there in some of the earlier videos on the piece of property that's behind this fence right here, and that was on the riverfront. And so I just wanted to show you the rest of the property that's here so you can see a little bit better right now. This here is the hookup for the trailer spot I have with its own meter and septic and everything. Here are some of my fruit trees. I have quite a few different fruit trees. These are some little pear apples that I have that I think are a little bit past their prime. They're a little bit dry. They're still pretty tasty. Can't wait to harvest the fruit on those. So you walk up the property here, you can see my garage and the rest of the house. I also have a trailer up this way that is on my property that also has its own hookups. I can rent those out as Airbnbs for the county of Jackson. As we move back on the property, I think this area here is where I'm going to have my greenhouse. It's one of the sunniest spots on the property. So I think in this area right here, I'm going to have a greenhouse. Even though I'm going to do a lot of sprouting, I think, versus growing, I will need an area to grow some seeds for my sprouting. So here's a pathway that leads up to the trailer on the back, but there's also this little octagonal building that the previous owner had used as a train area, where he had some trains going around the outside of it, inside the building but on the outside. And I think I'm going to convert it into a sweat lodge, and I'm going to actually put maybe like a Franklin stove in there so that can be turned into a sweat lodge. Also, you can see this area over here that I don't know quite what I'm going to do with yet. It may be where I keep my chickens, or it may just be where I have an amphitheater or something that we have for outdoor activities. As you go back here, you can see this is where Grant and I broke in the property with our first fire pit. As you look down the property, so I might also grow mushrooms up here, or try to. See what Bear Lando thinks about that, if it's possible. I have some more fruit trees over here on the other side of the property. I have a persimmon and a fig and some other apple trees. As you come down, you can see my pump house. This is the back of the house where I have an enclosed patio. This little area here I think will also be good for growing. They get sun. The sun comes up through this way. So this is facing kind of west, southwest. So here's my pump house. Get 12.5 gallons per minute. Now, the one thing that I really was happy to get that I didn't realize I was going to get was this little building here, which is cold storage. My grandparents had one of these when I was a kid, also called a root cellar. This is where you can store canned goods and other things. So if you go inside here, it's built into the side of the hill. It's made out of block. And when you look in here, it has shelves and so on. And this it's kind of like a basement, but it's also what they call a root cellar. It's about, I'd say, 20 degrees colder than the outside. So you can put your preserves or your seeds or your fermented items back here and store them. It's like having a big walk-in freezer or refrigerator. So I was really happy to get this. I was happy that it was in good shape. Nice big thick door. So I was happy with all that. So again, this is just the back of the property. It was nice to have some woods in the back and a little area here in the backyard and play some badminton or volleyball. So with that, I'll be signing off. This is Will Harold, the Energy Hunter with Akashic Intelligence, the original AI, from New Rivendell on the Rogue River in Oregon.